My name's Ethan, and this is the story of how my boss's greed and arrogance ended up giving me the tools I needed to completely change my life. He refused to promote me, underpaid me, and treated my hard work like it meant nothing. So I did what any underappreciated engineer would do. I learned everything I could on his dime and walked away with a job that paid me more than double. Yeah, this is the story of how I turned corporate exploitation into my biggest revenge. When I started out as an engineer for a defense contractor, I was fresh out of college and full of ambition. The company seemed solid, the pay was decent, and the projects were interesting enough. But like every naive young employee, I believed hard work alone could get me ahead. For 4 years, I played by the book. I did my job, took initiative, delivered quality results, and helped others when they needed it. In return, I got the standard 2 to 4% raise every year and the occasional pat on the back from management. But by year 4, it hit me. I was maxed out. There was no real growth waiting for me in this position. I was doing the same stuff, earning the same money while the company profited millions from my work. So I decided to get on the management track. I wanted more responsibility, more challenge, and yes, more money. After months of asking, they finally gave me a shot, a project engineer role. It sounded fancy. In reality, it was 10 times the work with no extra pay. In that role, I managed a small team, 4 engineers, a designer, and 2 admins. We worked on a system that ended up generating $1.6 million in sales in just our first year. It was a massive hit. We even earned the company a patent and got nominated by the U.S. Air Force for a Department of Defense Technical Team of the Year award. They flew us out to Washington, D.C. for a ceremony. It felt amazing. I'd spent that entire year grinding, traveling over 100 days, being away from my wife and kids, sleeping in cheap hotels near testing sites, meeting clients, dealing with vendors, fixing problems at all hours. It was brutal, but at the end of it all, I thought it was worth it. Because finally, I'd proven myself. Or so I thought. When performance reviews came around, I was confident. My manager called me into his office with a big smile and said, "Ethan, you've done an incredible job this year. I'm giving you a perfect 10 out of 10. I was on top of the world. I walked out of that room already imagining my promotion and the raise I'd worked myself half to death for. A few days later, the official results came in, and that's when I found out that one of my own team members, someone I had supervised, got an early promotion to senior engineer, while I got the same 3% raise everyone else did. No promotion, no bonus. Just a good job, champ. I was furious. I marched into my boss's office, still trying to keep my voice steady. "Greater than I don't understand," I said. "You gave me a perfect review. My team broke records. We made the company over $1 million. Why am I not being promoted?" He shrugged. "Well, I didn't think your team member deserved a promotion either, but that wasn't my decision. You just have to try harder next year, Ethan." That was the moment something inside me broke. Try harder? I'd already given everything. I smiled politely, thanked him for his insight, and walked out knowing one thing. I was done giving this company anything more than the bare minimum. From that day forward, I stopped killing myself for them. No more late nights, no more missed family dinners, no more unpaid overtime. I worked my 40 hours. I went home. I used my vacation days. I used my sick days. And for the first time in years, I actually started sleeping well. My mental health improved drastically, but I wasn't just coasting, and I was planning. My company had this budget for continuing education. Most people never used it. If you wanted to take classes or training programs related to your field, they'd pay for it. No strings attached. My coworker, the one who got promoted, started doing an MBA through the company's reimbursement program. But that came with a catch. He had to stay at the company for several years afterward, or he'd owe them the full tuition. Not me. I went a different route. I signed up for FEA, finite element analysis, and 3D modeling courses, both highly in-demand technical skills. The company paid for all of it. Travel, hotels, course fees, everything. I was literally getting paid to upgrade my resume. My boss even congratulated me for taking initiative. If only he knew. Over the next few months, I quietly built up a portfolio. I learned how to use advanced simulation software, modern CAD tools, and all the stuff that companies were desperate to hire for. Then, when I was confident enough, I started applying for jobs, secretly. Within a month, I got multiple offers. One company, a direct competitor, offered me a position with a base salary that was 200% higher than what I was currently making. And get this, it included paid overtime. When I did the math, I realized I'd be making nearly 3 times my old salary. That's when I knew it was time. I walked into my boss's office and handed him my 2-week notice. He looked confused. "You're quitting? Why? You just finished all that training. We have big plans for you." I smiled. "Greater than... Yeah, about that. I just got an offer I can't refuse." "Well, how much are they paying you?" "Maybe we can match it." I told him the number. His face went pale. "Greater than... That's more than I make." I just shrugged. "Greater than... Guess that's what the market pays for people with the skills you just helped me learn." He looked like someone had just punched him in the gut. The next 2 weeks were the easiest of my life. I stopped pretending to care. No more extra meetings, no more pointless reports. Just wrapping up my work, smiling, and counting the days. When my last day finally came, my boss shook my hand with this forced grin. "Greater than good luck out there, Ethan." "Thanks," I said. "And hey, if you ever need help with those new projects, maybe my new company can take them off your hands." Yeah, that one stung. At my new job, everything changed. The pay was amazing, sure, but more than that, I finally felt respected. People listened to my ideas. They valued my time. I wasn't just another engineer anymore. I was the guy who could get things done. And you know what's funny? That extra training my old boss paid for became one of the biggest assets in my new position. Those exact skills made me indispensable. In my first year alone, I made more money than I had in the last 3 combined. My family's life improved drastically. We moved into a better home, took vacations, and I never missed another birthday. Sometimes, revenge isn't about hurting someone. It's about proving them wrong by succeeding without them. My boss thought keeping me underpaid would make me grateful. Instead, it made me unstoppable. So here's my advice to anyone listening. If your company doesn't value you, use them to grow until you can leave them behind. Take their training, learn their systems, and walk away when you're ready. Because loyalty means nothing when it's one-sided. Your worth is not defined by what someone pays you. It's defined by what you know you deserve. And me? I don't regret a single minute of those classes, those sleepless nights, or that awkward goodbye. Because walking out that door wasn't just quitting a job. It was reclaiming my freedom. So, yeah, my boss refused to promote me. But thanks to his stubbornness, I ended up tripling my income, gaining my peace and proving to myself that sometimes the best revenge is success. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more powerful tales of justice, resilience, and real-life battles, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, share it with your friends, and leave a comment below. Your support helps me bring more stories like this to life.